Hello, welcome to the place on the internet I talk about comic books. Forgive this disgusting beard, forgive the fact that I'm not in my own home. I've been traveling for some time, and as a result the frequency and quality of these videos varies pretty wildly. Today I just wanted to talk about a subject that I'm sure I've touched upon before, but a phraseology entered my head and it made me think, okay, well, maybe that's the best way to put that. And that is, behave as though you are already blackballed. Here's what I mean by that. In comic books, I encounter a lot of people who are holding out hope that the phone is going to ring and that they are going to be asked to do Moon Knight or some bullshit. And for almost all of them, that will not happen. But that doesn't mean they can't have really wonderful careers in comic books doing things their way, doing things at a high level that they define. Because, yeah, a lot of you have no discernible talent. That is true. But many of you just don't have the right skills for this narrow lane that you always saw comics as. And I might in some ways be wasting my breath here, because many of the people that I see that are still fixated with getting a Marvel or DC gig of some type, those people are kind of fanboys that are never going to understand. They're always going to see that as the top of the heap in whatever respect. But at least some of you, I hope I can maybe convince that being blackballed would be the best thing for you. It would free you to do work that matters to you, work that is germane to your life and speaks to your sensibilities and not a corporation's sensibilities. Can I ask a somewhat rhetorical question, but you're allowed, of course, to leave comments? Even those of you who work in corporate comics, you recognize that it's a, for lack of a better word, it's a cucked life creatively, right? That's part of the deal. It's a commercial art. You are exchanging your time and skill for money. It's for hire in every respect. It does nothing except feed your family. And imagine for a second that there was a way to feed your family and also express yourself. Wouldn't that be better? If you sat down and thought, what are the ideas of mine that I wouldn't be able to do in a corporate environment, or even an indie environment that tends to play favorites or go to the well or you know, otherwise gatekeeps in whatever way. What would I do if I was free of those shackles? And I bet at least some of you are going to come up with better ideas than any that you would have for Moon Knight. So, as always, it's okay to take that other work when offered. It can't be your operating model. These guys who come from other, for hire fields like television, I'm not saying they're not comic guys. I'm not saying they don't deserve a seat at the table, but we all understand it's a different thing, right? We all understand that comics, unlike television, unlike really feature film to a large degree, certainly studio pictures over a certain size, comics can be pure expression. It can be you by yourself, or you and one other person meeting creatively and getting to work. And you have a creative spark and an idea and a style in your mind that you want to convey to the world. What do you need anybody else for? And knowing that, why not behave that way before they tell you no for the 300th time and you are walking around a convention with your head down doing the Michael Cera walk, reflecting on all the places you went wrong. Did I waste my life? Yes, you wasted your fucking life. Yes, you did. Because you could have had a body of work that you own, and I don't just mean that you own so you can exploit it later for capital. I mean, you own it. It is, you could stand next to it with no caveats. Let me tell you a thing about everybody that works for those big companies. And I'm friends with a lot of them, so I know this to be true. There's nobody who stands by their work without but listen. Well, the thing you got to understand. Well, hey, that's because there is interference on their creative vision. There is something an X factor that is a corporate X factor. It's not the X factor that comes from some type of, happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. It's the type of X factor where somebody comes in and says, "Oh, no, listen, I'm sorry. I said you could draw Johnny Storm, but Johnny Storm has to appear in another book this month. It doesn't make sense. Also, we've replaced Johnny Storm with a talking horse. So instead, you've got to, and this will be at the last hour, you've got to write around it. Maybe it could be a figment of his imagination. Maybe that Johnny Storm is a hologram." And you're sitting there going, what am I getting paid to fucking put my ass in the air and take it like this? What is this? What is happening right now? And that's all of them. They will all tell you that. And again, it pisses me off a lot that by having this conversation in public that I look like an anti-Big Two guy. I'm not that. I'm just saying so many of you are trying to get brass rings that are going to crumble in your hands anyway. It's not what it is. They're made out of chocolate. When you reach for it, oops. It's you gotta do it for self, man. You gotta think about what you want to put in the world, and if the answer is Moon Knight, fuck.